I get a lot of questions about how to get smooth sides and sharp top edges on cakes, so I wanted to create a video here that talks about the methods I use when stacking, crumb coating, and frosting smooth cakes. Starting with my turntable, I add a non-slip mat to keep my cake from sliding, followed by my cake board here. Using an offset spatula, I spread a little bit of buttercream onto the middle of that board to help stick the first layer on. My buttercream is at room temperature. I scoop some more buttercream and spread it evenly with my offset spatula by holding it steady and turning the turntable. The top layer will go on upside down. This is because the bottom of the layer takes on the shape of the cake pan while baking and creates a really nice top edge. Again, using the offset spatula, I start applying buttercream between the cake layers where there might be a bit of a gap. I want to make sure that the buttercream and the two cake layers are all flush. I've added some more buttercream onto the top, which I spread around with my offset spatula, just like in between the layers as well, keeping it nice and straight. Any buttercream that falls over the edge is just fine. Just use it to spread along the side, making sure to keep your spatula parallel to the side of the cake. Keeping the spatula in this up and down position, I just continue to cover the cake with buttercream as I finish the crumb coat. The crumb coat is a thin layer of buttercream that keeps the crumbs in place and traps them from appearing in the outer layer or the decorating. The cake will be chilled between the crumb coat and the outer layer so that all the crumbs will stay in the crumb coat. Next, I use a tall scraper to smooth the sides of the cake. Hold it at a fairly narrow angle to the cake, about 45 degrees or less. Any greater than that, and you end up actually scraping off more buttercream than smoothing it out. This may take several passes, and again, the crumb coat doesn't need to be perfect, just a good basic shape. I use an angled or a tapered offset spatula to level the top and give it a sharp edge. Lightly pull the excess buttercream from the top edge in toward the center and pull it away. After I've made it the whole way around the cake like this, I put it in my fridge and chill it for 20 minutes. You could also pop it in the freezer for 5 to 10 minutes if you wanted to speed the process up. Just make sure that it's firm to the touch. While my cake is chilling in the fridge or freezer, I'll re-stir my buttercream in the bowl by hand, just with a spoon or a spatula, to press out any new air bubbles that have settled. Using the same spreading technique as the crumb coat, the outer coat can be a little thicker now. I start with the top and smooth it out with my spatula by turning my turntable. I frost the sides by holding the spatula upright, straight up and down, grabbing more buttercream from my bowl to cover the cake. I use American buttercream, and as a note, I've found if some buttercream is too thick, difficult to spread, tears the cake, causes air bubbles, and try adding a little bit more of whatever liquid your recipe calls for to help thin it out a bit. Re-stir again in your bowl to mix and then try frosting again. Once the cake is covered, it's back to my metal scraper to smooth the sides. In between passes, I like to warm it up under hot running water and then just quickly dry it off. This softens the buttercream temporarily, which allows it to be smoothed more easily. Again, this may take several passes. Take your time with it. If you notice any gaps or air bubbles, you can take some more buttercream with your offset spatula from your bowl, fill those in, and then re-smooth. Once I feel like I have the sides smooth enough, I'll go back to my angled or tapered offset spatula to work on leveling the top and get a sharp edge. The trick here is to just very lightly pull the excess buttercream that's sticking up around the top in toward the center, keeping the edge of your spatula parallel with the top. Make sure to wipe the buttercream off of your spatula after each swipe too. This may take several passes too. Then once I'm happy with how the cake looks, I'll pop it back into the fridge to chill before I add decorations. Thank you so very much. Let me know if any of these tips are helpful to you.